Niche skill maxing is the dumbest thing you can do this summer because you can just spend it doom scrolling instead. Because if your screen time is 4 hours a day, you could have spent that exact same time learning how to take control of your subconscious by lucid dreaming, learning conversational Japanese, learning how to speed cube, or mastering Morse code. And if your screen time is 5 hours a day, you could have used that exact same time learning how to pick locks, become ambidextrous, learn your favorite songs on the guitar, or become a DJ. And if you're serious about learning these skills, this app literally locks your phone until you show proof of learning skills like this. So your phone becomes the reward for doing things in real life. If your screen time is 7 hours a day, you could have used that exact same time to learn parkour, blacksmithing, firebending, or glass blowing. And if your screen time is 8+ hours a day, you could have used that exact same time to learn how to freestyle rap, fly a plane, learn how to taxidermy, or restore a vintage car. Comment app if you want to spend less time scrolling and more time living.
10 out of 10 habits to become disgustingly overeducated, but they become increasingly more niche. Mute your favorite TV show and narrate it scene by scene. You're training your brain to turn what you see into words in real time. Describe something in front of you until someone who couldn't see it could draw it exactly. It trains your eye to catch the details that most people look past. Explain the most complicated thing you know like you're talking to a 5th grader. Where you get stuck is the part that you actually never understood, because being smart isn't fancy words, it's making the complex simple. Read 2 completely unrelated books and find the common patterns between them. Creativity is just connecting 2 things that nobody expected to belong together, and this is the perfect way to train it. Go to a park, pick a stranger, and imagine the hardest thing that they may be struggling with. It's called Sonder, and the people who can do it have the most empathy and can read people better than anyone else. Narrate your own life in 3rd person for an hour. He sat down, unsure what to say, so you pressed record and started talking about 10 out of 10 habits. I know that sounds ridiculous, but psychologists call it self-distancing. And that distance is what lets you actually understand your life instead of just reacting to it. 10 out of 10 habits to become disgustingly overeducated, but they become increasingly more niche. Mute your favorite TV show and narrate it scene by scene. You're training your brain to turn what you see into words in real time. Describe something in front of you until someone who couldn't see it could draw it exactly. It trains your eye to catch the details that most people look past. Explain the most complicated thing you know like you're talking to a 5th grader. Where you get stuck is the part that you actually never understood, because being smart isn't fancy words, it's making the complex simple. Read 2 completely unrelated books and find the common patterns between them. Creativity is just connecting 2 things that nobody expected to belong together, and this is the perfect way to train it. Go to a park, pick a stranger, and imagine the hardest thing that they may be struggling with. It's called Sonder, and the people who can do it have the most empathy and can read people better than anyone else. Narrate your own life in 3rd person for an hour. He sat down, unsure what to say, so you pressed record and started talking about 10 out of 10 habits. I know that sounds ridiculous, but psychologists call it self-distancing. And that distance is what lets you actually understand your life instead of just reacting to it.
10 out of 10 meal day, Vinland Saga edition. Wake up before dawn, grab nothing but water and bread. Walk into the forest for 3 hours straight. No distractions, just you and the trees. Sit by the water for 30 minutes and think about absolutely nothing. You have no enemies. Learn which berries won't kill you. Learn to do the things you don't want to do. Spend the afternoon climbing a mountain. You feel more fulfilled than hitting 100x trade on Liquid, the app with ballsy leverage. Watch the sunset from the hill. Realize how quiet the world gets when you stop trying to fight everything. Sleep under the stars with nothing but a blanket.
10 out of 10 cool bets to make with your friends, but they get progressively more niche. Every person picks a physical feat that currently feels impossible and has 6 months to get as close to completion as possible. The person who's had the most meaningful cascading change in their lives wins. Every person picks one individual they've never spoken to, a stranger who intimidates them, a public figure in the city, or someone they've always wanted to know, and spend 6 months building a genuine relationship with them from scratch. The person who ends up with the most unlikely and most real connection wins. Every person writes a letter to themselves to be opened in 10 years. Not goals, not resolutions, but an honest account of who they are right now. Fears, failures, what they're running from, and what they secretly want. You seal them together and nobody reads them until the decade is up. Nobody wins this one.
Part 38 of skills you could have learned based on your screen time. Fighting edition. At 1 hour a day, you can learn how to do basic boxing footwork and never get caught lacking again. At 3 hours a day, you can learn how to do basic wrestling takedowns and put anyone on the ground. At 5 hours a day, you can learn how to do basic submission grappling and tap anyone out in under 2 minutes. If there's any skills that you guys want to see that I haven't talked about, drop them in the comments down below. And at 8 hours a day, you can learn how to do advanced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and earn your first stripe on your white belt. If your screen time is over 9 hours and you want to do something more productive this summer, then you should check this website out. You can text my virtual assistant every single day and it'll give you new skills for you to learn instead of doom scrolling.
10 out of 10 ways to experience the summer properly with the boys, but it gets increasingly more niche. Pull up to the lake before it gets crowded. Rent the cheapest kayaks available. race to the other side, tip one friend into the water, and spend the next hour attempting backflips off a dock, dry off on the grass, and then proceed to destroy some fruit and some gas station sandwiches while arguing who actually won the race. Take a random day trip to a small town 2 hours away. No itinerary, no reservations, just one car, a questionable aux rotation, and complete faith in the road. As you navigate, quickly check Poke, your personal pocket assistant, to make sure your emails, meetings, and calendar are handled. Then let your phone exist strictly as a camera or GPS. Host a Minecraft night with the boys. Everyone brings a laptop, orders way too much food, and joins the same survival world. One guy builds the house, one disappears to mine for 3 hours, and another somehow burns the entire base down. And finally, try somewhere scenic before dawn to catch sunrise. Hoodies on, music off, everyone half asleep until the sky lights up, and suddenly the early wake up feels completely worth it.
10 out of 10 habits to get freakishly hard to kill, but they get increasingly more niche. Hum with your mouth closed. It increases the release of nitric oxide by up to 15 times, one of the most effective ways to quickly reduce stress. Take 3 quick deep breaths, then hold, and see if you can hold the last one for the rest of this video. Snipers drill this to slow down time and increase focus. Train yourself not to flinch when something comes fast towards your face. Fighters spend months drilling this until it stops being voluntary. Set a random alarm for 3 a.m., do 20 push-ups the moment it goes off, and then go back to sleep. Get in freezing cold water and try and hold a normal conversation with someone. You'll have to learn to control your body just to get it to let you speak. Walk at exactly half your normal speed for 10 minutes straight without stopping. After your heart is set, immediately try to thread a needle. Military experts use this to test motor control under fatigue and get so frighteningly hard to kill that your heart rate never rises under pressure.
10 out of 10 uncomfortable habits that make you that boring friend in his 20s, but it gets progressively more niche. Spend the first hour of your day in complete silence, meaning no phone, no music, no news, just you and your thoughts. Say no more often to things that you don't actually want to do without over-explaining yourself. Make saunas and cold showers a non-negotiable part of your daily wind-down routine. Spend 10 minutes before bed writing down tomorrow's top 3 priorities, laying out your clothes, and packing your bag. Send this to someone who you know for a fact likes dudes.
10 out of 10 peak male experiences, childhood shows edition. Your favorite channel growing up basically determined what type of man you became. First was the superhero kid. Justice League, Batman Beyond, and Teen Titans. Every blanket became a cape, every stick became a sword, and you genuinely believed you were one origin story away from saving the city. Then came the Nickelodeon binger. SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Drake and Josh, and Avatar The Last Airbender on constant rotation. You quoted episodes nobody remembered, and could go from laughing at Patrick to being fully invested in Zuko's redemption arc. Next was the Cartoon Network loyalist. Ben 10, Pokemon, Total Drama Island. Recess was spent debating the strongest alien, building your dream Pokemon team, and deciding whether you could survive Camp Wawanakwa. And finally, the Disney Channel regular. Sweet Life, Wizards of Waverly Place, and Phineas and Ferb. Before running the classics pack, use Poke's integrations to dim the hue lights, and turn up the Sonos for old theme songs all from your bed. And finally to check tomorrow's Google Calendar for any early meetings, because one episode is probably turning into a whole season. Lights low, old snacks on the table, memories unlocking episode by episode. For a few hours you aren't worried about work, money, or tomorrow. You were just back on your bed waiting to see what came next.
Niche skills you could have learned based on your screen time. If your screen time is 1 hour a day, you could have learned origami and been able to create literal pieces of art from paper. If your screen time is 3 hours a day, you could have learned candle making and been able to understand wick sizing, vessel selection, and fragrance blending. If your screen time is 5 hours a day, you could have learned pottery and been able to create functional, beautiful pieces of art with your hands. And at 8 hours a day, you could have become insane at competitive swimming. If your screen time is above 8 hours, it is time to get off your phone. Recommend getting an app like Rewired that's gonna block all of your time-wasting apps until you earn minutes by doing tasks like making your bed or doing push-ups. If you want the exact app I use, comment push-up and I'll send it over.
Part 21 of skills you could have learned based on your screen time. Superhuman edition. At 1 hour a day, you can practice myofascial release, which breaks up the tight knots in your muscles that cause pain and stiffness in your body. At 3 hours a day, you could have learned how to control your own adrenaline system, which controls your stress response and lowers your cortisol. At 5 hours a day, you could have learned how to optimize your vitamin D absorption, which controls your mood, your energy, your immune system, and bone strength. I'll be posting every single day for new skills for you to learn, so follow for more. And at 8 hours a day, you could have trained your metabolism to burn fat and build muscle at the same time. If your screen time is over 9 hours and you want to be more productive, then you should check this website out. My own virtual assistant will text you every single day for new stuff to do instead of doom scrolling.
Niche skills you could have learned based on your screen time. If your screen time is 1 hour a day, you could have learned origami and been able to create literal pieces of art from paper. If your screen time is 3 hours a day, you could have learned candle making and been able to understand wick sizing, vessel selection, and fragrance blending. If your screen time is 5 hours a day, you could have learned pottery and been able to create functional, beautiful pieces of art with your hands. And at 8 hours a day, you could have become insane at competitive swimming. If your screen time is above 8 hours, it is time to get off your phone. Recommend getting an app like Rewired that's going to block all of your time-wasting apps until you earn minutes by doing tasks like making your bed or doing push-ups. If you want the exact app I use, comment push-up and I'll send it over.
Skills that you can learn this summer instead of doom scrolling, but they get progressively more niche. If your screen time is more than 4 hours, you could have used that to learn how to flip a butterfly knife, how to lucid dream, how to do super cool yo-yo tricks, and memorize every single country and their corresponding flag. If your screen time is 5 hours a day, you could have used that to learn how to build a PC, get scuba certified, learn how to slackline, and even learn how to do expert level latte art. If your screen time is 7 hours a day, you could have used that exact time to learn how to do Muay Thai, become a skilled boulderer, produce music like Kanye West, or even learn fluent Japanese. Arigatou gozaimasu! And if your screen time is over 8 hours a day, you could have used that exact same time to learn how to skydive, become a professional blacksmith, learn electrical engineering so you could build super cool gadgets like Iron Man, or even become a skilled magician. And hey, if your screen time is over 8 hours a day, you gotta go touch some grass. Send this to someone with way too much screen time.
Niche skills you could have learned based on your screen time. If your screen time is 1 hour a day, you could have learned sleight of hand and had at least 5 tricks that make people speechless. If your screen time is 3 hours a day, you could have learned motorcycle mechanics and never had to pay a shop for any repairs ever again. If your screen time is 5 hours a day, you could have learned cinematography and been able to fully understand camera movement, lighting, and composition. At 8 hours a day, you could have fully trained for a marathon and been able to cross a finish line that most people dream of. If your screen time is above this 8-hour mark, you seriously need help, and I'm going to show you exactly what you can do to cut this down. There's apps out there like Rewired that block all of your apps until you do these productive tasks. This can be making your bed or doing some push-ups. If you want to cut down on your screen time and start building productive habits, comment push-up and I'll send you the link. Part 3 of skills you could have learned based on your screen time. At 1 hour a day, you could have fully learned Morse code and been able to secretly communicate with other people who know it as well. 3 hours a day, you could have literally became a beekeeper and fully understood colony behavior and honey harvesting. At 5 hours a day, you could have learned celestial navigation and how to read stars to tell your location instead of using GPS. And at 8 hours a day, you could have done competitive memory training and been able to memorize the order of a shuffled deck in under 2 minutes. If your screen time is above 8 hours, you need something that's going to lock your screen. A great option for this is this app called Rewired that blocks all of your time-wasting apps until you do productive tasks. Tasks earn you tokens, which you then redeem for small amounts of screen time.
Skills that you could learn this summer instead of doom scrolling, but they get progressively more niche. If your screen time is over 4 hours a day, you could have learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Or you could have memorized countries and their flags, do cool yo-yo tricks like this guy, or even become really good at playing chess. If your time is over 5 hours a day, you could have learned to edit cinematic videos like this, or make good cafe quality coffee at home. Probably even learn sign language, or learn how to make simple viral videos for brands and get paid to do it using apps like this. If your screen time is over 7 hours a day, you could have learned how to DJ, or learn how to fly a drone, learn how to speak Korean, even learn how to make your own clothes. And if your screen time is over 8 hours a day, you could have learned how to skydive, or even become a glass blower like this guy. You could have learned to train birds for falconry, or even become a skilled professional magician. But hey, if you're already spending that much time on your phone, you might as well get paid to do it. Send this to someone you know with way too much screen time.
Niche skills you could have learned based on your screen time. If your screen time is 1 hour a day, you could have learned meditation and rewired your attention span to make every single skill on this list easier to learn. If your screen time is 3 hours a day, you could have learned sailing and been able to crew on boats worldwide as well as charter your own. 5 hours a day, you could have learned 3D modeling in Blender and been able to make game assets, product design, and animation. 8 hours a day, you could have learned rock climbing and improved your finger strength, route reading, and movement efficiency. If your screen time is above 8 hours a day, here's how you're going to stay off your phone for the next month. Apps like Rewired that force you to get off your phone until you do these specific tasks, like making your bed or doing push-ups. If you want to actually lock in, comment the word push-up and I'll send you the link.
5 skills you could have learned based on your screen time, but they get progressively more extreme. At 5 hours a day, you could have learned how to pick any lock imaginable. At 7 hours a day, you could learn how to become a grandmaster level chess player and be the smart person in any room. At 9 hours a day, you could become completely fluent in any language, including Japanese. If your screen time is over 11 hours a day, you could qualify for the Olympics in at least one sport, and maybe even make your family proud. Send this to someone whose screen time is absolutely cooked.
10 out of 10 uncomfortable things to do alone, but they get increasingly harder to hide from yourself. Go to a movie by yourself with no one else, no explanation needed to anyone. It's usually the easiest place to start because nobody around you is paying enough attention to even notice that you're alone. Go out to dinner alone in a nice restaurant, not fast food, but a real sit-down table for one. Researchers who study solo dining have found most people's fear of being judged is extremely overestimated. Write down your specific fears in as much specific detail as you can stand. Therapists have used this exercise for years because fear loses most of its power the moment you address it. Travel somewhere new for a full weekend completely by yourself. No one meeting you there. Every decision is yours. Where to go, who to trust, how to spend your time, and what to do when your plans fail. It builds a version of confidence that you can't fake around other people. Go camping somewhere completely alone. Nobody to entertain you or to talk to. It's one of the fastest ways to see how loud your own mind gets with nothing else controlling your attention. And get so comfortable being alone that it stops feeling like rejection and starts feeling like freedom.
Skills that you can learn this summer instead of doom scrolling, but they get progressively more niche. If your screen time is 4 hours, you could have used that to learn how to lucid dream, how to juggle, how to DJ, or solve a Rubik's Cube in under 30 seconds. If your screen time is 5 hours a day, you could have used that exact same time to learn poi or flow arts, slacklining, how to do expert latte art like a barista, or learn 5 good magic tricks. If your screen time is 7 hours a day, you could have used that exact same time to get really good at Muay Thai, learn how to free dive, learn how to paraglide, or get really good at blind wine tasting. And if your screen time is over 8 hours a day, you could have used that exact same time to learn electrical engineering like Iron Man and start building gadgets, learn how to 3D print anything that you want, learn how to survive in the wilderness, or become really good at rock climbing. I use this app to reward me with screen time only after I've done cool side quests like this. Go ahead and comment app if you want me to send it to you.
Love me, love me, love me, love me, oh baby.
Here are 10 out of 10 boring hobbies to secretly make you a genius, but going down the list to get increasingly more niche. Journaling. You're forcing thoughts into a structured language. Bird watching. It's a grandpa activity, but it's elite pattern recognition training. You start noticing details everyone else walks past. Gardening. This is the slowest science lab on earth. Variable feedback loops, delayed rewards. You're running experiments without realizing it. Cryptic crosswords. Not normal crosswords. The British kind where every clue is a riddle inside a riddle. This is the most concentrated logic training that exists in newspaper form. Reading old letters between scientists, Darwin, Einstein. You're watching genius think in real time, unedited. Follow for more.
10 out of 10 uncomfortable habits that make you dangerously present, but it gets progressively more niche. For 48 hours, don't look at your reflection in order to forget who you look like and have the privilege of simply observing the world without observing yourself. Have a cold shower in complete darkness. This resets your dopamine baseline and regulates your nervous system. Never make your breaks more fun than your work. This makes you dangerously present when you're focusing.
10 out of 10 skills that you can learn this summer instead of doom scrolling, but it gets progressively more niche. Number 1 is learning how to lucid dream. I'm sure you're thinking right now that in your lucid dream you could fly or have superpowers. I'm talking about reworking your subconscious mind. There's a point in your journey of lucid dreaming where your prefrontal cortex is activated and you can actually solve complex problems or talk to your subconscious. This allows you to rework limiting beliefs or face your fears head on in a dream-like scenario because it actually is. Number 2 is going to be aligning with the future version of yourself every single day. It's a skill to be in a certain situation and feel like you don't want to do something but still do it because it aligns with the future version of yourself. Use an app like My Future Self, for example, because I can put my goals in and it gives me the day-to-day actions that I need to be taking towards achieving the best version of myself. Number 3 is going to be a physical training style that actually challenges you, not just maintains you. A lot of people think that working out is just to look better, but that's only 1% of the entire picture. I'm just going to name a small portion of what it actually does. Reduces stress and anxiety, elevates your daily mood, improves your sleep quality, stimulates neuroplasticity, enhances your memory and focus, and accelerates injury recovery. Let me know what you're locking in on this summer and follow me for more videos.
Skills you could have learned in 1 month based on your screen time. At 1 hour a day, you could have learned to solve a Rubik's Cube in under 90 seconds. For 3 hours a day, instead of scrolling if you went on Quizlet, you could have memorized every country, capital, and major landmark in the world. At 5 hours per day, you could have learned celestial navigation. You could have been navigating by the stars by now. And for 8 hours a day, you would have had the basic reading comprehension to understand Egyptian hieroglyphs.
10 out of 10 habits to get offensively hard to kill, but they get increasingly more niche. Press your palm up against a wall at maximum effort for 60 seconds. Soviet strength coaches use this to build neural drive with zero risk of injury. Do push-ups on your fingertips until your knuckles stop collapsing. This is how you'll condition your tendons, not just your muscles. Exhale for twice as long as you inhale while still moving. Walk through your entire home in complete darkness without ever touching any walls. Shift your focus from your fingertips to the far wall 30 times without blinking. Submerge your hands in ice water for a minimum of 2 minutes, then try and write. Walk 60 feet on just your heels with your toes raised the whole way. You'll train the muscle that protects your knees, which almost nobody does. Dead hang from one hand until your grip physically fails and you drop to the floor. And get so offensively hard to kill that your body stops asking for permission to act.
10 out of 10 hobbies that will make you disgustingly intelligent, but they get progressively more niche. Part 3. Take any argument online and draw it out as a flowchart to find where the logic breaks. Visit the same museum every week and memorize the story behind one painting each time. Pick a random word in the dictionary every day and trace back where it came from. Play 1-minute chess games against strangers. Write your dreams down the second you wake up before they disappear. Pick a skill and learn it only from books and not videos. Sit with a hard problem for an hour without going on your phone. And get to the point where there's nothing you can't teach yourself.
10 out of 10 cool bets to make with your friends, but it gets progressively more niche. Every person picks a country and becomes a genuine expert in its history, culture, and language. And at the end, the person to give the most immersive 10-minute talk wins. Every person picks a form of creative output that they've never tried and produces one original finished work within 6 months, no AI. The person whose work makes the group actually feel something wins. Every person identifies their single biggest character flaw and spends 6 months in deliberate war against it. At the end, the group votes on who has changed the most physically. All these bets require one thing: consistency. Comment Aura and I'll give you the app that makes staying consistent feel addictive.
How to be insanely good at anything. And I mean anything. Intelligent, strong, charismatic, creative, knowledgeable across multiple domains. This is how you're going to max out your stats and become one of these people. Number 1 is skill deconstruction. Most people try to learn an entire skill at once, but like anything, every skill is made out of smaller sub-skills. Break it down. Identify the few components that create the most results, train those first. Number 2 is cognitive cross-pollination. This means taking ideas from one field and then applying it to another. For example, psychology can make you better at marketing. Philosophy can improve your decision making. Storytelling makes you more charismatic. The more connections your brain can make across different domains, the more original and adaptable you will be. Thirdly, you need to become an efficient leader. A lot of things you read or consume are filled with unnecessary information. But if you were to use a tool like BeFreed, which allowed you to turn any book into a podcast style and get the key point summaries up front, then you would be able to absorb the most valuable ideas in just 10 minutes. And that means more knowledge across more domains in way less time. Comment book and I'll send this to you.
10 out of 10 philosophies to adopt in your life in the next 6 months, depending on what feels missing, but it gets progressively more niche. If you feel burnt out from hustle culture, try Epicureanism. It teaches you that the good life was never about intensity, it is always about simplicity, genuine friendship, and the removal of unnecessary pain. If you feel directionless despite having everything, adopt Ignatian spirituality. It gives you a rigorous daily framework for discerning what your life is actually for, and the courage to follow that answer wherever it may lead. If you feel like modern life is pulling you in every direction and nothing feels sacred anymore, adopt Orthodox asceticism, the practice of voluntarily removing comfort and excess to discover that silence was never the absence of noise. It was the presence of something you've always felt was missing in your life.
Skills you could have learned based on your screen time, useful edition. Your screen time is 1 hour a day. You could have gotten really good at drawing and been able to sketch anything in front of you from memory. 3 hours a day, you could have learned home brewing and never had to pay craft beer prices again. Screen time is 5 hours a day. You could have picked up the trade skill of welding, which has a $30 an hour minimum pay. And if your screen time is 8 hours a day, you could have become fluent in Spanish and been able to talk to millions of people across the world. Screen time is above 8 hours a day. I am sorry, but your brain is cooked. Highly recommend getting an app like this. It'll block all your time-wasting apps until you do any of these productive tasks, like making your bed or doing some push-ups. That way you build productive habits and cut down on your screen time. If you want the link, comment push-up and I'll send it over.
Skills you could have learned in 1 month based on your screen time. At 1 hour a day, you can learn a brand new song from scratch on a piano. Enough to listen to a chord, mimic it, and simultaneously sing and perform. At 3 hours a day, you could learn how to edit your personal movie. And not just using CapCut, using DaVinci Resolve and Adobe to bring these images to life. Understanding the lighting, the pacing, the mood, to transform one single clip into its own piece of artwork. At 5 hours a day, you can build enough endurance to participate in a triathlon. Enough to understand muscle, knowledge, and mentality to complete what 1% of the population couldn't do. At 8 hours a day, you can build a mysterious source of online income income through a high-income skill. You could learn how to leverage AI tools like Poe to help keep you accountable in writing messages, tracking your email, and watching your flights for business trips so you can focus on scaling your livelihood. Your screen time is proof that you're not lazy. It's proof that you truly have the time.
10 out of 10 uncomfortable habits that make you dangerously present, but it gets progressively more niche. For 48 hours, don't look at your reflection in order to forget who you look like and have the privilege of simply observing the world without observing yourself. Have a cold shower in complete darkness. This resets your dopamine baseline and regulates your nervous system. Never make your breaks more fun than your work. This makes you dangerously present when you're focusing.
Part 5 of skills you could have learned based on your screen time. At 1 hour a day, you could have become insane at pen spinning and learned complex tricks that most people don't know. 3 hours a day, you could have learned antique restoration and been able to flip $20 thrift store finds for hundreds. 5 hours a day, you could have learned underwater photography and been able to capture things that ordinary photographers dream about. And 8 hours a day, you could have become a professional speed cuber and been able to hit sub 10-second solves. If your screen time is above 8 hours, you need to lock your screen. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You need an app like Rewired that's going to block your apps until you do productive tasks like making your bed or doing push-ups. If you want to start building productive habits and cutting down on your screen time, comment the word push-ups and I'll send you the link.
10 out of 10 skills that you can learn this summer instead of doom scrolling, but it gets progressively more niche. Number 1 is learning how to lucid dream. I'm sure you're thinking right now that in your lucid dream you could fly or have superpowers. I'm talking about reworking your subconscious mind. There's a point in your journey of lucid dreaming where your prefrontal cortex is activated and you can actually solve complex problems or talk to your subconscious. This allows you to rework limiting beliefs or face your fears head on in a dream-like scenario because it actually is. Number 2 is going to be aligning with the future version of yourself every single day. It's a skill to be in a certain situation and feel like you don't want to do something but still do it because it aligns with the future version of yourself. Use an app like My Future Self, for example, because I can put my goals in and it gives me the day-to-day actions that I need to be taking towards achieving the best version of myself. Number 3 is going to be a physical training style that actually challenges you, not just maintains you. A lot of people think that working out is just to look better, but that's only 1% of the entire picture. I'm just going to name a small portion of what it actually does. Reduces stress and anxiety, elevates your daily mood, improves your sleep quality, stimulates neuroplasticity, enhances your memory and focus, and accelerates injury recovery. Let me know what you're locking in on this summer and follow me for more videos.
10 out of 10 things every teenager needs to start doing, but they get progressively more niche. Fix your sleep schedule. It sounds small, but when you get good sleep, you literally improve every aspect of your life. Learn to say no. Just because someone wants you to do something doesn't mean you have to. Cut the people who drain you. When you're constantly around people who bring you down, you actually start to believe the things they say to you. Learn one marketable skill. By the time you're 18, you should have already learned one skill that you can actively market and make money from. Keep promises to yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, you're telling your brain that you're reliable. This will increase confidence, clarity, and decisiveness. Find a passion. Find something you genuinely love and get better at it every single day. Without a passion, life feels bland. Stop chasing cheap dopamine, doom scrolling, gooning, junk food. All these things feel good in the moment, but become regretful later. Do things that make you uncomfortable. Making small talk, learning something new, committing to a goal. The more uncomfortable something feels, the more you're probably gaining from it. Use your time wisely. You are still young. You barely have any responsibilities. Take advantage of the time you have and you'll thank yourself later.
This is how to develop an insane memory. You literally will only have to see information once and it'll stay in your brain forever. There's a section in your brain called the hippocampus. It handles 2 different things, memory formation and moving around in physical space. So basically, if you want to optimize your memory, just connect new information to a new location. This is called a memory palette. It's a location that you know like really well, like a childhood home, for example. And whenever you're trying to learn new information, I want you to turn that information into an actual scene within that space. Weird textures, weird objects, something that would only show up in that space. Stranger the better. The formula is really simple. It's just new information plus already existing long-term memory equals something that your brain can actually hold on. But first, you'll need good information. What actually worked for me? There's this method that feeds you bite-sized ideas from actual books instead of that brain-rotting content. Same scrolling motion, but you're actually absorbing something real. This allows you to take the best information and actually consolidate it instead of overflowing your mind with too much info. So just comment the word book and I'll send it to you and follow me for more tips.
अब तो मैं सिखाता हूँ कि 7 दिनों के अंदर असली डिसिप्लिन कैसे बिल्ड करते हैं। वेल मेरे भाई, अभी चल रहा था समर आर्ट चैलेंज और मैं चाहता हूँ कि तुम इसे सिर्फ 7 दिनों के लिए फॉलो करो जिससे तुम डिसिप्लिन के फर्स्ट स्टेज को कंप्लीट कर पाओ। तो मैंने तुम्हारे लिए पहले से एक डिसिप्लिन ट्रैकर बना रखा है। जस्ट कमेंट करो स्कूल और मैं तुम्हें भेज दूंगा। लेट्स ग्रो टुगेदर।
Skills you could have learned in 1 month based on your screen time. At 1 hour a day, you could have learned to solve a Rubik's Cube in 90 seconds. At 3 hours a day, instead of scrolling, you could have completely memorized every country, capital and major landmark in the world. At 5 hours a day, you could have learned celestial navigation. You could literally be navigating the stars right now. And at 8 hours a day, you could have developed the basic reading comprehension to understand Egyptian hieroglyphics. But learning the skill is only half the battle. The real challenge is having to enforce it every single day. If that's your problem, go to poke.com and I'll personally text you every day to help you limit your screen time and keep you focused on an interesting skill that actually builds you up.
Skills you could have learned based on your screen time, let's go. Your screen time is 1 hour a day. You could have taken your typing speed to around 100 words per minute, which is well above the average of 40. 3 hours a day, you could have mastered the art of negotiation and basically cut costs on every single thing you need to buy for the rest of your life. At 5 hours a day, you could have become really good at video editing and learned pacing, color grading, and sound design. At 8 hours a day, you could have become a legitimate blue belt at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and been able to neutralize basically any physical confrontation. If your screen time is above 8 hours a day, I'm not gonna lie, we got some serious work to do, but not all hope is lost. There are apps out there like this one that can fix your brain. Basically gonna block all of your apps until you do these productive tasks like making your bed or even just doing a few push-ups. If you wanna start cutting down on your screen time, comment push-ups and I'll send you the link.
10 out of 10 uncomfortable habits that make you dangerously present, but it gets progressively more niche. Part 2. For 7 days, walk somewhere familiar by a completely different route. You'll be surprised at how little attention you've given to your own world. Set a timer for 1 hour and stare at a wall to confront the thoughts that you've been avoiding. You'll be surprised at how enjoyable this is. Go somewhere loud like a crowded cafe and simply listen, not to the content of conversation, but to the texture of sound. 10 out of 10 cool bets to make with your friends, but it gets progressively more niche. Every person picks a sport and sees how far they can get professionally within 6 months. First person to get to a verifiably professional or semi-professional level wins. Every person picks a craft that no one else in the group knows. Woodworking, leatherworking, glass blowing. And after 6 months, everyone brings the best thing they've made with their hands and the group decides who wins. Everyone picks a dead or obscure language and commits to reading one classical text in its original translation. The first person to actually understand that text and discuss it wins. Every person adopts a strict philosophical or spiritual practice 3 months lived seriously. At the end, each person writes a single page on what has changed within their lives, and the person with the most genuine transformation wins.
10 out of 10 simple bets to make with your friends, but they get progressively more niche. Everyone picks a combat sport they've never trained and has 6 months to get one real sanctioned amateur fight. First knockout wins. Everyone has 3 months to get one real training session with a fighter everyone actually knows. Khabib, Mike Brown, Matt Serra, first one to step on the mat with them wins. Everyone picks a trade skill no one in the group has, welding, gunsmithing, and has 4 months to build something with it that actually works. Everyone has 2 years to make it all the way through Delta Force or Spetsnaz training. Whichever they can actually get into, first one to earn the badge wins. Everyone has 90 days to get processed and deployed into a real combat role in Ukraine. First one to see actual combat wins. Everyone has however long it takes to complete one genuinely dangerous expedition of their own choosing. A free solo, an open water crossing, a summit without oxygen. Whoever survives wins.
10 out of 10 ways to experience the summer properly with the boys, but it gets increasingly more niche. Pull up to the lake before it gets crowded. Rent the cheapest kayaks available. Race to the other side, tip one friend into the water, and spend the next hour attempting backflips off a dock. Dry off on the grass, and then proceed to destroy some fruit and some gas station sandwiches while arguing who actually won the race. Take a random day trip to a small town 2 hours away. No itinerary, no reservations, just one car, a questionable aux rotation, and complete faith in the road. As you navigate, quickly check Poke, your personal pocket assistant, to make sure your emails, meetings, and calendar are handled. Then let your phone exist strictly as a camera or GPS. Host a Minecraft night with the boys. Everyone brings a laptop, orders way too much food, and joins the same survival world. One guy builds the house, one disappears to mine for 3 hours, and another somehow burns the entire base down. And finally, try somewhere scenic before dawn to catch sunrise. Hoodies on, music off, everyone half asleep until the sky lights up, and suddenly the early wake up feels completely worth it.